Ready to go?
Ready to go.
All right, Sal, take it away.
Cool. So,
this is a book that everyone should read, Unshakable by Tony Robbins. It's a great book on how to invest in the stock market on a psychological perspective, because a lot of people say that market forecasters are there just to make weathermen look good, because whether a crash is going to happen in a month from now, 12 months from now, 30 months from now, it's going to happen, and you want to be able to understand what the psychological processes are going inside your mind when a correction happens and how to take advantage of it and not lose money. A lot of us worry we have money in the markets. Because we're in the markets and the markets have been doing so well over the last couple of years, should we be putting our money into cash or changing it up? The thing is that that's actually the worst thing that you could do. Instead, the philosophy is always, it's not about timing the market, it's about time in the market. And all the best financial investors in the world will tell you this, including Warren Buffett, Carl Icahn, the greats of the world. Famously, Rothschild said that the best time to invest is when there's blood in the streets. And you want to explain that a little bit?
Yeah, so anytime there's any sort of market crash or chaos, markets, we like to believe that everyone's smart and the markets are efficient, meaning they work because people are rational. But we know that the reason why markets crash are typically not because the world is ending, but because people think the world is ending and that the economy is going to continue to do bad and we're going into this depression. And we have a lot of fear and euphoria. It typically runs on human nature and emotions, and that goes into evolutionary psychology, which we won't get into.
So a couple facts about bear markets and bull markets. Number one, there's a new high record every single month on average. We always see, oh, new highs, and that's one, to sell views on TV and on clicks online. But it's also because the stock market is always going up. And Sal always says that the stock market is like a yo-yo on an escalator, right? The yo-yo is going up and down all the time, but it's taking an escalator up. So the yo-yo eventually, even if it's at a down period in 10 years from now, will still be higher than what it was before at a high period. So what does this mean? Right now, around the globe, the feds are printing money, and that's causing artificial growth inside the stock market. No one knows what's going to happen in the next little while, but there is going to be a crash. We don't know when. Every single correction that happens every single year is followed by an upswing.
And the biggest corrections or decreases in the market are followed by the biggest gains in the market.
So a bull market is going up, and a bear market is going down. So every 5 to 7 years, there's a bear market, which means a correction of over 25%. We haven't had a bear market in 8 years. What does this mean? There's one coming, and what do you have to do in order to prepare for it?
Again, it goes back to time in the market, not timing the market.
All right, so little thing on psychology over here. So if I were to tell you that your favorite car, Ferrari, is 50% off, what would that make you feel?
I'd be so excited. I probably still wouldn't afford it, but I'd be so excited if I did.
Megan did a big job on Black Friday because everything was on sale, right? But for some reason, the stock market is the only place in the world that if the stock is 50% off, everyone's scared, not excited. Everywhere else in the world, if there's a 50% sale, people do what?
They buy.
They buy.
Yeah.
When the greatest investors in the world say that if the stock market is down, you should actually be buying because it's on discount.
What the fear actually stems from, and I just want to put this out there, is the fear stems from not understanding that the market does rebound. And that's why we're kind of showing our viewers here and our clients that it's about staying in, being patient. Things will come again. It's not a storm that lasts a lifetime, and it's so important to know.
Quick story. This is a true story. Me and Sal looked it up before this. It's a guy named Theodore Johnson, and he took advantage of the compound effect. We've been talking a lot about. One of our last posts got a lot of news around the compound effect. In the 1950s, Theodore Johnson worked at UPS, never made more than $14,000 a year. A friend of his who was a financial advisor said, I'm going to put a 15% tax on you. Now he was saying, oh, I can't afford a 15% tax. I can barely afford with the amount of money that I'm living now. And he said, if the government all of a sudden increased taxes by 15%, you would rant and holler and, you know, be pissed off, but at the end of the day, you would pay it. So the guy paid it, 15% tax. When he retired with $70 million.
And he gave $30 million away.
And he gave $30 million
away.
During his lifetime to charity. How is this possible? He understood the power of compound interest. Probably next week's article is going to be on compound interest. Stay tuned for that. And if you have any questions about it, DM us. We've been talking to people all week about it, and we'll give you some articles to read to learn more about that.
Make sure you take advantage of it. Keep saving automatically. Invest your money. The compound effect will work for you. Einstein says that the compound effect is one of the greatest wonders of the world. Please use this power.
Again, this is Sal and Anthony. Until next time, you'll see us next week, Wednesday mornings, what they did not teach you in school.
We need some music.